You know, I went to, on Honor Iron Fly here October the 5th, but before we left on October the 5th, there was 132 veterans, plus myself, met at an orientation over at, off North Shore Drive at the Catholic Church to be told what would be done on this flight, okay? As I'm sitting there with Wally and Floyd, I'm looking around at everybody, okay? I'm looking at them. We're not young kids full of pea and vinegar, 18, 19, 20 years old as we used to be. We're old men. I watched them get up and go get their tray of food and reach for their coffee or their juice and drop their tray. And I thought, you know, that was so sad. You know, we're old now. We're not kids anymore. But we left here at 5 o'clock in the morning, going to Knoxville to board the airplane. Floyd and Walt and myself behind City Hall. We got over at the airport, and about 6 o'clock, Channel 10 grabbed me first thing and done the interview. And then the mayor of Knoxville come up, talked to me, hugged me. Tim Burchett, Knox County Mayor, the police chief, Congressman Jimmy Duncan come up and spoke to us. And we boarded the plane, okay? When I came back from Vietnam, they treated us so bad. I've lived with that all my life, almost 50 years I've lived how they treated us. But I had a crutch when I come back. I had alcohol. As long as I was drinking or working, I was fine. Okay? We boarded that plane to go to Fort Lewis, Washington, and those fire trucks shooting those water cannons across that plane, that made me feel so good. Okay? And as we was coming into the tarmac in Washington, D.C., I forgot what it felt like to ride a plane had been so long. As we come in, the same fire trucks, not the same fire trucks, but they were shooting water across the plane, and people were standing on the tarmac with their hand above their heart or attention. It not only made me feel good, it made everybody on the plane feel good. Is that correct, Walt?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's feeling good.
It's phenomenal, really heart-wrenching that the respect for you.
Come over here, Walt. Come over with me. As we went into the airport, they put us on 4 different buses, chartered buses. And we had a police escort in front and one behind us. And when we come to an intersection, the police car behind us would run in front of us and stop traffic. And we would come on out on the main streets. And people along the streets waving flags and waving at us and thanking us for what we'd done for their country. Okay. We went to the Arlington Cemetery. We went to Lincoln Memorial. We went to Changing the Guard. We went to World War II Memorial, the Korean Memorial, and the Vietnam Memorial. Okay, I went to Washington for myself. I played with this thing for years. Do I want to go or do I want to go? My age and my health, I knew I had to go because probably my life's changed my life to go. I went for myself, but I went on a mission. I went on a mission to bring 4 of my friends from my father that I grew up with in the 60s and run around with home that were killed in Vietnam. And those people were Richard Breton, Bill Long, Dickie Reagan, George Heverly, and Corky Hulston. And as I was laying in bed last week, I thought to myself about 4 o'clock in the morning, those 4 friends that I run around with that give their life for their country, they never had the opportunity like me and us to grow old. They died young. You know, in my eyes, in my brain, and in my heart, they're still young. And they'll be young when I see them again. But I wanted to get their names off that wall to bring home to give to their families. And on behalf of a grateful city and a grateful country, it's an honor for me to be the mayor to present this to Richard. This is a picture of me pointing at his brother's name on that wall. Richard, honor your brother. And here's a picture of the wall, the Vietnam Wall, and your brother's name. Richard, he's my neighbor. He's been my neighbor for almost 40 years. And every time I go to Nashville, go to a memorial, I always take my finger, and my council team, I always rub my finger down their names to let my friends know I've never forgotten them. And Richard's had some health problems the last couple of years, and he lives under a hill. As I go by his house, he'd be sitting on his porch in his wheelchair, and I tell you, I seen Bill yesterday, and he'd give me a thumbs up. He knew I went to Nashville somewhere.
The names on these pictures are original tracings that we took while we were there. And
I live in Brother too.
I think part of the mayor's and my whole reason for going, the year I spent in Vietnam, I didn't know whether I killed anybody or not, or whether any of my friends were killed. And it took me from 1981, well actually from 1970 when I came back from Vietnam, up until we got on this Honor Air flight, for me to feel like I got washed of the dirt that I felt. And not knowing whether I killed anybody over there or not was something that bothered me, and I spent 3 years with psychiatrists. And this trip took a lot of that pressure off, and most Vietnam vets don't talk about their experiences over there for those reasons. And I'm going to lay something out that I told the mayor. One of the guys that heads this thing up on this Honor Air, when he called me and told me I got approved to go on this flight, we talked for an hour and a half, and I told him about the psychological problems that I dealt with. Reason I wanted to see it, but I wasn't ready to do it. And he told me that I told him the thing that bothered me most was not knowing whether I killed anybody over there. And with the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not kill, that bothered me immensely. Well, he told me something he saw on the History Channel about 4 months before this flight, that the original context of the Bible does not say thou shalt not kill. It says thou shalt not murder. It was like taking a 1,000-pound weight off my shoulders. And I think any other Vietnam vet that's told that would have that same feeling, because there's a big difference between murder and killing. Killing, you do for the defense of your life, your country, your family. Murder, you don't like so-and-so, boom. And that's kind of the psychological thing that I dealt with. And on this flight, it was just this being with there was 133 of us on the flight, and the camaraderie and the instant friendship was just absolutely phenomenal. And the trip coming home, we'll get into that after the mayor finishes with what he's got here. And Mayor and I have become great friends. We didn't meet until this. And
you've heard me say it all through my life, especially since I got involved in politics. I am Mike Stanfield. I am the mayor of La Follette, but I'm a soldier. My country made me a soldier in the Vietnam era, and I'll be a soldier today and I die. And I'll fight for my country, and I'll fight for our city as long as there's breath in my body. We proved that in Vietnam. Our brothers here, they never came back. And Miss Jordan here, this Dickie Reagan, I remember Dickie in high school, the big smile on his face and his teeth, the big white teeth. I didn't know it till last night. I talked to Laura. Dickie was shot once and got healed up and went back, and he was killed. On behalf of myself, Laura, and my council, and the grateful city, I'd like to present you and your daughter with this plaque for Dickie, his honor. You're welcome. These pictures here are me. And these pictures are me now. A young man at 19, 20 years old, an old man at 65 years old. And like I say, we love our city, we love our country. But let me tell you a little bit about Mike Stanfield, your mayor. I've been a public servant all my life, from delivering newspapers to working for Uncle's gas station, meeting people, to working for Chop-Right Sales Company. Just got out of high school, married my high school sweetheart. I was a freshman, Vinny was a senior. We dated 4 years and got married and got out of high school. Just got out of high school, got married and got drafted. Never been out of La Follette, to be honest with you. I've not been a whole lot of places now, other than this city business or go to Nashville or somewhere. But sent me to Fort Knox, Kentucky for basic training, sent me to Fort Leonard Wood for IT, and sent me to Vietnam. When that plane landed in Vietnam, it was so cool in that plane. When they opened the doors in that plane one day, it was like the air was sucked out of that plane. It was just hot. And there lays all these black bags to go back on that plane coming home. I couldn't figure out what those black bags. It did take me long to figure out his body's coming home to be buried. But, you know, I served my country in Vietnam. When I came back, we flew into Oakland, California, and they treated us so bad. People spit on us, kicked us, smacked us, you know. And I've lived with that all my life. You know, I've always felt dirty. But like I say, I've never smoked marijuana. You can ask some of my friends I remember in high school, I never smoked marijuana. I was drunk in high school. You can ask Joe, we run around high school. You know, but I've never done cocaine, heroin, LSD. You can get anything you want in Vietnam for nothing. My thing was alcohol. As long as I was drinking or working, I wasn't thinking about Vietnam. But in 1988, my dad come down with cancer and shot and killed himself in Mom's house up here. When I was at street department, I was going to West Sonata to work for Nick and Nan Thompson, and I got a call that I need to come to my mom. Something's wrong. It was Hot Rod. It was Lonnie. He said, Mike, you come up here. When I got there, my mom and dad, people was there working, fire trucks, policemen, ambulances. I went upstairs, and my baby brother, Scotty, he was trying to pick my dad out of the floor. And that brought Vietnam back to me. I just couldn't. If I wasn't working, I was drinking. But in 1993, a doctor told me I was dying of cancer. And I thought, Lord, I'm 43 years old. I got a good job, I got a good wife, I got good kids. You know, I don't want to die. You know, I said, you know, if you'll spare my life, I'll try to live with you the best I can the rest of my life. But before this, I thought, okay, we had a home, my wife's going to try to hang on to me, and I'm going to die. And she's going to lose her home. She won't have nothing. I thought one morning when she goes to work, my kids go to school, I love these mountains up here where this forest is burning out right now. I love them. Me and Hot Rod Stadium Mountains when we was young in Philip Farmer. I thought when she goes to work, kids go to school, I'll load a pistol and I'll get in my truck. When I get back on those mountains, I'll drive till I run out of gas or break down, and then I'll walk. When I walk and I sit down, that's when I'll take my life. She's gone to work, the kids have gone to school. I load the pistol, I walk to my truck. I reach for the door handle. I said, God, I've never asked you nothing for myself. I never asked you for nothing in Vietnam. I've always asked you to help other people. I need you to turn my heart. And when I said I need you to turn my heart, it's like I took the first breath of life. I've never had a feeling like that. This is how good our God is. He brought me home safe from Vietnam. He healed me of cancer. I was supposed to be gone 23 years ago with cancer. He has healed me, you know. And, you know, I owe so much to God. And I try to be good to everybody, you know. Sometimes I get in trouble. Katie will tell you, I'm always trying to help somebody in Katie. But anytime you call me, I've always been there. But it's such an honor to be your mayor. It's an honor to be your friends. You know, like I say, my time's about up here, you know, and it's all about helping the people. And when we was coming back, you know, this is a lot to do in one day, especially the guys our age, you know. But we were tired. When we come back, I thought, I'm going to take me a nap. Well, he come up and give everybody this piece of paper. And it was songs. It's Coast Guard. It says, here's Air Force. Off we go in the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they zoom to meet our fuzzy. Acting boys, give them the guns. Give them her the guns. We sung these songs. This whole page, front back, goes on.
They have a song for every branch of service.
Yes. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to take me a nap. And then they said something about mail call. I've not heard mail call since Vietnam. Okay, these letters here, I thought maybe some kids had wrote them to us, but I'm going to read you one of them.
Before you read what they did on these, everybody that was going on this flight, they contacted the families and did not let the vet know that was going on the flight that they had contacted them to have these letters on the flight coming home. And it was a silent moment when they started reading these.
But I'd like to read maybe 4 of them. This is for my wife. Like I say, she was my high school sweetheart. We dated 4 or 5 years. We got married. We've been married 45 years. So. And I'm very thankful to have her. She's always been by my side through thick and thin. It says, Dear Mike, I am so happy for you being part of the Honor Air Fly today. I can only imagine what you've seen, felt, and shared with your other veterans. I know you have to be tired
and your emotions running high. It's an experience of a lifetime, and so well worth being part of it today. I need to tell you how much I love you and to say thanks for being there for me always. So proud of you, words cannot seem to be enough. Proud for standing up for your country, your city, and everywhere you go. A true soldier, and you represent us better than anyone else. Being mayor, that we used to joke about one day, I'd tell him when we was dating I'd be the mayor one day, just kidding. It turned out to be true. Come true. And because of who you are, we like Mike has resulted in your making history. Only mayor to be unopposed. Wow. That's a big, huge, gigantic feat. I'm closing by telling you I am honored to be your wife now and beyond and forever. Love you, Vinnie. And this one here, this is from my mom. She's 90 years old, and my sister wrote this. Memories from Mom to Mike, wrote in Mom's words for you. I will not ever forget going down to the post office and coming back telling us you was drafted and going to the Army. It made me feel so sad and just awful. There I saw you carrying that little bag of clothes. It was so hard for us. I just asked the Lord to let you come back to us. I remember making candy and sending it over to you and waiting for the postman to bring me a letter from you. But one day I had been in the kitchen and was going to the living room and looked up, and there you was walking in the front door. It was a happy day. We all was together again. Oh yeah, I remember you was gone for Christmas, and I would put your picture on the table for us to look at, so you'd still be here. Mike, your daddy, would be so proud of you and what you have become, always helping others. We love you so, and so glad our board made you home. Remember, I will always ask, are you going to run again? My mom, she's 90 years old, and she still asks if I'm going to run for mayor. Bless her heart. I don't have the heart choker. I am. Now here, this is my daughter, Lisa. She's 43 years old now. Dear Dad, I hope you have a good day. You experienced all that in D.C. has to offer. Although we, your family, were not able to make this trip, I hope you will find letters we wrote to you, a great sense of joy and happiness. I just want to say how much you mean to me and my family, and that we love you very much. As you look around the plain, you are among some of the most honorable men, however, I know. Personally, the most honorable one, and I am proud to call you Dad. You have always done what you thought was right and what was best for your family, your city, and your country. You have made so many sacrifices and put others before your own happiness. As I write this letter, I cannot even begin to imagine how much you have felt today. You must have reminisced and relived those moments from your past painful moments, scared moments, and moments that were happy moments. Knowing this and these moments are what have shaped the person you are today. With each moment, there have always been trials and tribulations, but you have conquered them all because you are a survivor. This must be because you have always been surrounded by God's mercy and grace your entire life. You have even defied death because of this. You have chosen for a time such as this. You were chosen for a purpose and have been placed in a position to touch people's lives. Always be mindful and constantly reminded of this. Never lose sight and continue the fight. You have been promised that you, in your later days, will be even greater than your past. Thank you for all that you have done for me and continue to still do. Not only for me, but for my family. I love you. I'm so proud of you, Dad. You're always your little girl, Lisa now. That's my daughter, Lisa. Now, Katie's going to get a kick out of these. These are my grandkids. Okay. This is Bella. You're Papa. I'm so happy that you are a Vietnam veteran. I'm glad that you are my Papa. I don't know what I would do without you. Mom and Dad says that you spoil me. Guess why? Because you take me down to Katie's and get me like 6 cups of coffee and you send me home. Love you, Bella, your favorite grandchild. That's one of them. Now, here's William. Your papa, and a smiley face. Thank you for the time in the war and being my papa. Also, thanks for being the mayor of La Follette. I love you. You take me to Katie's and drive me around to help others who can't take care of themselves. Love you, Papa. Your favorite, Will DeFrio Lester. Let's see, here we go, here's Chloe. I just got Katie said, Dear Pap, I want to thank you for being my Papa. I love you very much, and I don't know what I would do without you in my life. I love delivering lawnmowers, running around with you, and going to Katie's some mornings. P.S. Thanks for letting me order pop. Papa, I want to say thank you for all you have taught me in life, such as everything's better when it's free. I can't wait for you to get home so I can give you a great big hug. I love you. Bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck. Love, Chloe. These guys that I brought back off that wall, they didn't die in vain. They died for their country. And what made me feel so proud about coming back, as we come back to that plane in Knoxville, we go through the airport. I've never seen so many people, like 1,000, 2,000
Oh, it had
people.
been, it took us 2.5 hours to get through the crowd.
Everybody, my friends, Tommy Gill, bless his heart, he just got out of the hospital, and he said, I'm gonna come and see us. Tommy, don't come, you don't come, you know. But Tommy and Shirley was there. Everybody was waving flags, patting us, hugging us, shaking the back. And it made me feel so good. You know, I told you I've always felt dirty, but I should have done this a long time ago. I feel so clean now. I wish I was 20 years old, but that ain't gonna happen. But I still feel good about myself and my country. But it's coming back from the airport, coming to Carrollville. We're coming down the incline at Carrollville, and I see all these blue lights. And Lisa's driving my car, and I said, Lisa, you need to slow down. It's been a bad wreck at Carrollville, see all them lights, okay? As we come off the ramp, it wasn't no wreck. There was the Seal Flight Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, and state troopers. They were waiting for me to bring me home from Carrollville to La Follette. They came all the way from Carrollville to La Follette behind City Hall at 10 o'clock at night with their blue lights and sirens screaming. I thought, well, I ain't gonna live this down. Somebody's gonna call in for sure now. But when we pulled behind City Hall, we got out and had our pictures made, all of the standard, the pictures right here. But I thought, those 4 names that I went to retrieve off that wall, they came home. They came home tonight at a hero's weapon they deserved 50 years ago. It made me so proud. I could call them guys my friend. George Everly, he was a little bit older than me, but everybody knows George. He married a Henniger girl. He married Lois Henniger back in the 60s. And Corky Huddleston, he graduated in 67. I believe Dickie graduated in 67. And Bill Long graduated from my life in 67. But I can close my eyes, I can still see him. George Everly was a big husky guy. He's a football player, you know, big guy. Corky, he's a woman's man. I always had a big smile on his face. He was a hotty-toddy back in the day. Bill had like wavy hair. Big wavy hair and a big smile. And Dickie, big teeth and a big smile. They're always with me. There's not hardly a day goes by I don't think about it. It was such an honor for me to have my friends. But that made me feel so good, those blue lights coming back that night. But the next night, the utilities had a pig roast. And I got up in front of everybody and I told him the same story I told you. And I look in the audience and there's an Oriental lady sitting there. I didn't pay much attention to her. But after it's over, she come up, she held my hand, she kept shaking my hand. She said, I just want to thank you for what you did for my country. She said, I lived in Saigon. I left Vietnam in 1975. We were there to help the Vietnamese take control of their country. And the Vietnamese that was friends of the Americans, like the fathers and the sons, when the Americans pulled out, the Viet Cong killed their dads and their sons. They didn't kill the girls, but she left Vietnam in 1975. And that made me feel so proud. They did cure what we was already, that's what we was already helping them. And they did appreciate what we done. But it breaks my heart, you know, to see this many names, 50-some thousand names on this wall here. You know, it breaks my heart. But you're welcome to come up here and look at these pictures, how young I was and how old I look today. You know, we got the water cannons, we got the state troopers and the sheriff and city police here. We got pictures of welcome home in Knoxville. I mean,
the mayor of Knoxville, she done a proclamation in our honor. Now here's the fire truck shooting the water cannons right here. You know, that was so great. But please come up and look. And first of all, let me say, I'd like to thank Eddie Mathis. He's the owner of Prestige Cleaners. He made this possible. It didn't cost us not one penny.
No dime.
And we couldn't have been treated any better, could we?
No.
Like,
They tried, you know, they treated us like, just like heroes, and it really humbles you that the way they treat you. And when we came back with that multitude crowds, their little hands coming out between legs, wanting to shake your hand, and I got more hugs and kisses that day than I've had in my lifetime.
yeah, Jimmy and I went to a dinner today down at Cold Lake, and Jared Efford was there. He come up, talked to me, he'd seen on TV where I went, and his dad's a Vietnam veteran. He's 74 years old, and he's asked me about his dad. And I said, listen, he needs to do is, he needs to get that monkey off his back, you know, let it go. And as I was telling him some of the things I told you now, I looked at Jared, the tears started rolling down his face. And, you know, Jimmy was sitting there with me. Jimmy didn't see it, but, you know, it's touching, you know.
If any of you know any Vietnam vets, Korean War or World War II vets, Mike's got my phone numbers. I have the applications. I printed them off the computer, and I've passed some out at different locations in town. And I'd be more than honored to see that these, you know, anybody that wants an application that's been there and done that, and say I have the applications. They don't have to go to Knoxville to get them.
And like I say, there was 133 of us flew out here. A few, very few were World War II veterans. Laura, are you leaving, Laura?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go.
Well, listen, thank you for coming. I love you guys, okay? But very few of them were World War II veterans. And this is Walter here, and this is their guide. This was Brett Ward, and the World War II veteran was Charles Ireland. He was from Merle. He was sharp, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
I mean, he could outwalk me, him 90-some years old. But please come up here and look at these pictures and stuff.
The oldest guy on the flight was 100 years old, and he gets around better than the mayor and I do.